Hi, Crystal. My name is Lori. I'm with Victim Services. Records informed me you might be interested in information on order protection.
Hi, yeah, I think so. I'm not sure what to do or where to start. I feel anxious and torn.
Okay, well, why don't we go have a seat and you can tell me about it, okay?
Okay.
So what brought you to the police station today?
Well, my boyfriend was arrested for the third time last night at our apartment over by Chandler Mall. The officer told me he was being charged with aggravated assault under domestic violence charges. My boyfriend Steve, he came home late at night and he started yelling at me loudly because our daughter was crying and he wanted her to stop. So when I tried to walk away and go and calm her down, he grabbed me by the arm and continued yelling at me. I tried pulling away, but then he gripped my arm even tighter. The abuse keeps happening to me, and it has been escalating in the last couple of years. It has happened multiple times, but the cops have only been called 3 times.
Sounds like that must be really hard for you, Crystal. Would you be interested in filing for an order of protection?
I don't know what to do. We have an 18-month-old daughter, and I only work a couple days a week at a restaurant. So Steve's job is really our only income. I'm worried he's just going to end up harming her too. I just want to make sure my daughter is going to be safe from harm, and if that means keeping him away.
You are very strong for coming in here today to ask for help.
Do you know if Steve is going out of jail today?
I can look that up for you. They usually start the initial appearances in the morning, so he probably is still waiting to see a judge. If you'd like, we can get the order today and try to have it served to him while he's in court.
Okay, can we fill the paperwork out for it now then?
Absolutely. So go ahead and start filling this out. It just asks for your name, phone number, address up here. Here you're going to choose the locations you don't want him to have access to. And then down here you'll fill out his information, his name, address, phone number.
Okay.
Crystal, I just need to fill out this client contact sheet for you. What's your last name?
Smith.
Smith? Okay. Crystal, what's your date of birth?
June 5th, 1992.
Now, is this address, phone number, your current information for you?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Now, this phone number, is this a safe phone number for us to call you at and leave a voice message?
Yes. I've never come looking over at my phone.
Okay.
I just wonder if Steve will turn off my service if I get this order.
Okay, well, we do have resources to help you out with that if that does occur. We have loaner phones, what we call Hope Line phones, where we can let you use that until you can have a safe number to use.
That would be great. If I lose the service later on, can I come by and pick another one up?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now what do I write on this sheet?
So here on the left, you're going to write your information, and on the right over here, you're going to write Steve's information. Now we're going to go down here, and you're going to fill out everything that has occurred within the last calendar year that causes you to want this order. So in a calendar year, you can go all the way back to March of 2016, okay? And if you need extra paper, I can provide that for you to attach to the back.
Okay. Why does this keep happening? When we first started dating, he was so nice. Then I got pregnant and all of a sudden he started to change. How could I have let this go on for so long? My daughter shouldn't have to live like this. I'm such a bad mom.
No, you are not a bad mom. You are taking a huge step coming in here today to get the help for you and your daughter to get some safety.
I think I know that. I was just raised with the idea that the problems I have in my relationship or marriage is between my partner and I. That I shouldn't be talking to others about what is going on between us. I feel like I can't even talk to my mom about this because I feel like she would be so disappointed that I'm bringing other people into my relationship problems. I know these are difficult circumstances, but I still think that would matter.
It must be hard to not feel that you can confide in your mom. Is there anyone in your life you can confide in, or would you like resources for counseling services?
Well, I have a good friend who always seems so concerned about me. I can probably share with her everything that has been going on. I don't know if I can talk to a therapist, at least not yet.
That's understandable. You have a packet of information I'll go over with you after we go to court and get the order. And some information regarding that's going to be in here, okay?
Thank you so much. You're really helping me out a lot. Does this look like enough information?
You do have a lot listed here. Is there anything you can think of else that has occurred in the last year?
Not right now, not off the top of my head. I feel like there's been so much, it's hard to remember specific dates and events.
Okay, well, it does look like you do have a lot, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. There is one more page here. So here's where you're going, where you can add other people to the order. So this is where we would put your daughter on there. Now, is Steve your daughter's biological father?
Yes, he is.
Okay, this is typically a gray area. Sometimes the other children are added to it and sometimes they aren't. It's a case-by-case situation. If you want to try to add her, we can see what happens.
Okay. I just want her to be safe. I don't want her to have to grow up seeing him act that way and think that's how she's supposed to be treated.
I want to pass what's for your daughter.
Yeah.
So then down here is the list of different addresses that you can write down that you don't want him to have access to. Now, does your daughter have a daycare that she goes to you want to add here?
No, it would be our apartment. Can I write down the restaurant as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this box down here, does Steve own any guns?
Yes, a few of them. In the apartment and in the truck.
Okay, well, if you check this, it states he's not allowed to have them in his possession, so he would have to relinquish those.
Okay.
You can go ahead and check that if you feel that that's what you need.
I think that might be a good idea. He's already going to be so mad. If he has a gun, he might...
If you'd like, we can also put in a request to patrol to more frequent patrols around your neighborhood if that will make you feel safer.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can take care of that for you. And this box down here, if this is checked, it's going to require him to attend domestic violence counseling sessions. However, that would only take place if he requests a hearing regarding this order, and then that would be ordered at that point, so he's present for that.
I think I would like him to do that too. Now what do we do?
So I'll just go ahead, look all of this over, and make sure everything looks good to go. Okay, and whenever you're ready, we can head to court, okay?
I'm ready.
So now that this order has been granted, they're going to have him served with this. And I did look it up in our system, and it seems he has already seen a judge. They're gonna end up holding him for a couple hours before they do release him. It appears he will have his first court date on April 4th coming up. And you do have a right as a victim to provide a victim impact statement, attend the court hearings, and you can even be able to stay informed throughout the process of the prosecution.
I would like that very much.
Alright. Let's see here. So the number for them is in this brochure here. And I'll go ahead and send an email to the advocate in the prosecutor's office and inform her you want to stay involved in the process.
So now what happens now that the order has been granted and he can't come to my apartment?
Since you were granted full access to the apartment with this order, he'll be allowed to come by for 1 hour with a police escort to collect personal items. He won't be allowed to take furniture, household appliances. He'll just be able to take clothes and other personal care items. And what you can do too is just bag all of his stuff up and have it ready to go for him when he comes to collect his things.
He still has a key. What do I do if he shows up?
So Arizona does have laws that allow a tenant who's a victim of domestic violence to change the locks. You'll just need to provide a copy of this order to your landlord to be allowed to do that. Now, do you and Steve share a bank account?
We have our own accounts. I don't have any access to his account, and he doesn't have any access to mine.
Okay, that is always a concern we like to address with our clients, just in case they do share finances.
I'll probably have my mom or my friend watch my daughter throughout the week when we have the days off, when they have their days off, so I can pick up more shifts at the restaurant. I want to be able to get on my own feet.
Okay. We do have information here on their Christian Community Center, where they have food boxes available to people in need of them.
Oh wow, thanks. This is great.
Yeah. And we have some more resources in this packet here that I'd like to go over with you before you go. Let's see. So this is the power and control wheel. This goes over the different types of abuse we might see in a relationship. We have intimidation here where, you may be caused fear by looks or actions used by the abuser. And here we have emotional abuse where there's a lot of belittling and name-calling to purposely make you feel bad about yourself. Now we also have isolation, where that's seen a lot, where you're limited to where you're allowed to go and who you're allowed to talk to outside of the apartment. A lot of times there's economic abuse where, you're prevented from working or working the amount of hours you want to work, leaving you no choice but to ask for money from your abuser. Male privilege is something we do like to let you know of, because that is something we do see where, their abuser acts like treats them like a servant and is the one making all the decisions, where, they're the one to define a man's role and a woman's role in the relationship.
Oh wow. He does so many of these things. I never realized how much until it's all put out on paper.
That can be hard to realize when it's all put out there. This is something important too I want to go over with you. This is the cycle of violence. It typically starts with an incident, be it physical, emotional, or sexual abuse. And then, we have the makeup stage where the abuser apologizes to their victim and promising it'll never happen again. Sometimes we do see where the abuser starts to blame the victim for the abuse occurring in the first place. But then we have a calm afterwards where the abuser may act like the abuse never occurred, and some promises that were made during the makeup stage are carried out, leaving the victim to believe the abuse is over with. However, eventually there's some tension building where the abuse begins again, and eventually we have another incident that occurs.
Oh gosh, I never realized.
Now, I know this can be a lot of information to take in. Do you need me to explain anything in more detail?
No, I think I just need to process everything. I can take this packet with me, right?
Of course you can. Now, everything in here is yours to hold on to. There are a couple more things here I do want to go over with you before you leave. Since you do have your daughter, I figured it's important to go over this with you. It talks about the effects of domestic violence seen on children. It's divided up in different age categories, so we can go to where your daughter is a part of. So between infancy and the age of 3, typically you can see a lot of issues with falling asleep, and sometimes there's issues with weight gain or the child not wanting to eat at all. Sometimes there's increased fussiness or crying, and sometimes they have emotional withdrawal as well.
Oh my. I wonder if her frequent crying may be related. Looking at all this surprises me of how children are affected differently on their age. I'm glad I'm finding out now before she gets into these later stages. I just hope I can keep him away from her, at least until he gets some help and gets better. What do I do if he attempts to take me to court to try for custody?
We do have information here for community legal services. They do work a lot with domestic violence survivors, providing legal advice and representation. And there's some information here we have for you from Pathways, whereas they offer free services to domestic violence survivors as well. They have victim advocacy, where they can attend court hearings with you, and they also offer counseling services if you need someone to talk to.
Sure. This is also helpful. I don't know what I would do, what I would have done without all this.
Sir, if there's anything else you need, please feel free to give us a call. Where's that brochure? This is our number on the front here. You can call that number anytime if you need our assistance. And feel free to call it if you need it, okay?
Okay.
Is there anything else we can do to that you want to have any questions over, or if anything else we can help you address?
You have helped me so much today. I think I'll look at this information some more at the apartment. I'll probably call later on for more questions.
Okay, and there are 4 other advocates here as well, so if I'm not available, they'll be here to help you too.
That sounds great. Thanks again for all the help getting everything started for me today.